Joe, you're hilarious, buddy. I love the one.
First in.
First in, man.
Gotta
Number
make
one.
sure. It's got to make sure.
We should go on one of our other channels and screw him over one time. We'll go over
One.
as soon as I put it, I'll put one. Sorry,
That's
Joe.
cheating. That's an unfair advantage. That'll get you kicked out of the World Series of Poker.
That would. Speaking of, we're going to talk about some stuff today, and that's one of the things he's foreshadowing. We're going to talk about Bitcoin on a soar today, hitting a record high. And so if you own Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies and you're getting some of the fallout from Bitcoin's meteoric rise, well, good for you. I'm one of them, I guess. Sort of.
Not, fucking idiot.
Yeah. Next time, be better. Do better.
Dummy.
You fucking idiot. Especially if you're an idiot like me who didn't invest in it when he could have. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Will Kassouf. If you don't know who he is, he's a Brit professional poker player. And he just got completely banned from the 2025 World Series of Poker events altogether.
Yeah. Once he busted the main event, they're like, you're done.
He busted in 33rd, so he got a nice payout, $300,000 for 33rd. But he was just harassing players and all that shit. So we're gonna talk about that. We'll play a little video of his reaction and discuss, and then we'll talk about who the final 9 are because they're in the final. They've got the final table going right now. I don't know if I'm not sure when they'll actually play it, but it's set that way. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about Trump and the Epstein files. How can't you? You gotta talk about this. It's like, how can you not? I mean, and Dan Bongino fallout with that. He might be done. And Cash says if Bongino's done, he's probably done too. Jeez, this thing could take down part of this
nation.
Well, yeah, maybe we could take down part of this MAGA movement, which would kind of suck because they kind of had a lot of momentum going, coming out of the gate, the whole Doge thing, and then the Doge thing kind of blew up a little bit. And now this is blowing up, so it's just sad stuff all around. We'll talk about it and see where we land. And finally, we're going to talk about a weird new sort of trend that I've seen. I don't know if you'll agree with me, but over the last decade of weird, I'll say third world violent attacks over here in the first world, which is
not weird over there.
Not weird over there, but weird over here.
They bring them here and they do what they do over there.
Yeah, somebody set a woman on fire. Disgusting. Anytime I hear that, God, I can imagine. Can you imagine being set on fire? Gross. Early again. There you are. Barely, man. We're like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. No big deal. We're just doing that so then when at 7 o'clock, we're like, boom, out of the gate. It's all the pre, And this guy over here this way, he likes a game and he wants to go play a game. So I like to leave him a little bit of time before he has to go to bed. His mommy puts him to bed at like 9. He's got to get his beauty sleep. So, yeah.
How do you think I look this good?
You've been on fire? Ugh, that's not cool, man. I've burned myself a couple times.
Cool. It's like the Fantastic Four guy. That's pretty cool, what he does.
It's a cool story.
It's probably a cool story.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, subscribe. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this channel. I had an email sent to me telling me that some of the advanced, whatever, it's restricted. Essentially, it's restricted.
The community tab, like the
probably
the comment, like you can do the comments.
Yeah, probably some things like that. It told me it was restricted to some degree for whatever reason. I don't know. I blame him. He doesn't have a filter. No filter. He doesn't like to use the approved words that you're supposed to use. I sometimes don't either, I guess. But we're saying, I was in a fire that landed me in the hospital for a week, and I couldn't go in the sun for a year.
That's a long-ass time.
That is a long time. The worst burn I ever got was a 2nd-degree sunburn, and it burned all my shoulders and stuff. I was fucked for a couple weeks. But other than that, really been burnt. So I don't have any horror stories about that. Sorry, buddy. That sounds like shit. But yeah, let's just get into this thing, man. So like I said, this guy can go and play his games. No filter is a good thing. Well, yeah, it would be nice if if we didn't get punished for it though. Like they just shut the channel down to a point where the only people that see it are us. So it's tough. Have you looked at the analytics on the channel? Or the views on the channel, I should say. You can't see the analytics, but have you seen the views on the channel? It's just dropped off a cliff. So whatever. I don't know. They don't like what we say, I guess. Free speech is only free if they like what you say. All right, let's get on it. Let me plop this in here. Transition over. Get started. So Bitcoin had a fucking great day. Like a crazy good day. Record high. You said it hit what, 123 or something?
It breached over 123. You could probably see the high, the 24-hour high somewhere on there. If you just pull up the Bitcoin chart instead of the article,
yeah.
See that.
Well, I didn't have that. Okay, so
you were on Yahoo Finance. You just had to click on markets.
Where's that?
Markets. Or just search Bitcoin. Just type in BTC up there.
All right, hurry up. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's a trust.
Yeah. So click BTC.
What's that?
Or type BTC.
Teaching me how to use the internet here.
And find the one that says Bitcoin USD.
Here we go.
And that should.
That's
somewhere there should be.
This is where it's closed at.
It doesn't close.
Wow, whatever.
It's where it is right now.
Where it is right now. 122,944.
Right there.
Jeez. Look at this. Here we go. There's the spike right there. At 3:40 a.m.
That's different time, I think. Or actually, maybe not. Maybe that is our time. And I was just looking at it. No, because I thought, that's UTC.
Well, there you go. Okay. Anyways, that's what it hit. Oh, there it is. No, there's even higher. 123,020. So why is it?
I mean, I don't think it's always perfectly.
Whatever. Anyways, hi. So if you own Bitcoin,
2.3,
holy shit.
Almost 2.4 market cap, trillion market cap.
Yeah, it could hit $1 trillion soon.
No,
it's not $1 trillion yet, is it?
It said 2.4 trillion.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it went over $1 trillion a while back. Oh, and I know what I'm thinking. It's it might be, I think it's Amazon's market cap or something soon. It's kind of it's like
Amazon
on the cusp.
Hasn't hit $1 trillion yet?
No, I think they're at $1 trillion, but I think it's beat them. Let me see here. Let me find Bitcoin to be more than Amazon market cap.
I just looked up the Amazon market cap. Yeah, so
Bitcoin to surpass 2.4 trillion market capitalization, overtaking Amazon's 2.3 trillion. There you go. Holy shit. Google 2.19 trillion. Wow. There's power in crypto right now. A lot of money in there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Which is crazy.
That is
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know what to make of it.
What's sad about it for me is I looked at this shit when it was like under $5 a coin. I say it all the time though. There's no way I would have ever made. I would have made it to this.
Held to even 200.
No. But okay, so just think if you bought like, I don't know, even if you bought 100 of them, let's say, I might have held on. I might have held 10 of them. Yeah, I'd be sitting on 1.2 million. US.
Yeah, the thing about Bitcoin is that people have been saying always that this will be worth $1 million one day, kind of thing. So if you're like, all right, I'll hold a couple just to see. Right. Whereas like other investments, nobody says that really, even though they might get to those kinds of levels.
Yeah.
No one's saying, in 2013 or whatever, no one's saying that, the Tesla share price is going to be worth like, $100,000. But
you know what? I don't know. I don't think it's going to hit that. I don't think it's going to hit what, like Michael Saylor says it's going to hit. My buddy Art thinks it's going to it's going to get up to, what did he say, 250,000 then next year or something?
I thought he said that 2 years ago.
But I'm saying, but he said over the course of the next couple of years. So I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of giving him a year at this point.
Soon.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's too tied to the market now, and the reason why it's on such a big surge right now is because of like all this legislation talk about making it easier to invest in, and and they're just this obviously the Trump government is a lot more it's a lot more favorable towards crypto.
They were gonna start buying it,
right?
But Joe says, do you think Bitcoin will become the world currency soon? Personally, I think it will, because they put everything on a ledger and that can be used for control. I agree that they're going to try to use crypto for control, but I think that's the what is that?
Brain fart.
What was that? What is it called? That we talked about it like years ago when Art came on here.
What do you mean?
When the government implements a crypto.
Don't know. I don't know where you're going with that. I'm sure when you say it, I'll remember, but I'm drawing a blank on what you're trying to say. But it's like, obviously now they're adding it. They've been adding it now for the last couple of years to ETFs, and they've been legitimizing it and tying it into the market. So this money is not like before, and with other cryptocurrencies, with 99% of the other ones, they're not really backed by anything, and they don't really, because you can just start any fucking coin you want, meme coin, whatever. It doesn't have to be backed with any kind of idea behind it or any purpose or anything. It's just, here's a coin with my face on it, or whatever, right? But Bitcoin actually serves a purpose, and XRP serves a purpose, and Stellar, all these different coins, the top coins. There he is. I told
CBDC.
you. Told you he'd be back. There it is. CBDC. Yeah.
So they're going to use that to try and implement control. I don't think it'll be a global currency necessarily, but there might be like 4 of them in the world, kind of thing.
Well, yeah. If I don't know, like obviously I don't think that the Trump administration will be pushing CBDCs themselves, but there might be some. That administration might be kind of pushed in the way to do all the pre-legislature behind it, so that when the next administration comes in, it's kind of like something that they could fast track. You know what I mean? Like where they're like, oh, we know that we need all these other things in place, and Trump will allow those kinds of things because it makes buying and selling crypto easier. But then they just they have the nefarious idea of putting in these CBDCs in the next administration type thing. So
I don't think the Amero was a digital currency. I think it was just a proposed combination, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I've heard of it. I'm not sure 100%. Yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't be against the government having it, but not like if they had it as an option. You know what I mean? Like where it wasn't the option or anything, but they had it for like certain things. I wouldn't be against that necessarily, but it's the idea that they're going to tie it into everything.
They're going to phase out fiat.
Oh yeah, fiat currency's gone.
Cash won't exist, and then you just won't have an option. It'll just be what you have. They'll make the transition.
Then we get the little.
They'll redefine what a dollar is to be technically a CBDC.
Yep. Then we get the little chip put in our wrist or our finger or wherever the heck you put it, and you've got to scan your wrist or scan your finger, and people will try and cut people's hands off and fingers off and stuff to take their money. Sounds very Orwellian to me. I don't know. There's something about cash to me that I like. So as much as I like cryptocurrencies, I think they serve a purpose, and and I own some. And like I said, even CBDCs, I think as long as they were used for maybe like a couple different things, but that's it, I think they could be useful. But otherwise, I think it's I think this might be the beginning of the end of free society, if you ask me. Yeah, just start reading some comments. Anyways, stop that recording there. I don't even know how I'm going to post it. I keep taking these clips, but I never post them anyway. Because, I don't know. I think the channel's kind of toast. Well, did I tell you about Art? I told you he'd come in.
Yeah, you said that.
I said before the podcast, Artie, I said you'd be in because you'd see Bitcoin and you'd be like, ooh, I want to talk about that.
It's my jam.
That's my jam. Bitcoin's my jam. All right. Let's just get into the next thing here. Boop. Thing I want to talk about. Boop. And boop. All right. Well, if you're following the WSOP, this time of year from the end of May, basically, end of May till like the end of July, essentially.
It's been a month and a half, I think, now.
So far, yeah, roughly, something like that. You'll know that the main event has been being played for the last week, basically. Well, Will Kassouf, if you don't know who he is a very boisterous, outspoken douchebag Brit that... good poker player, sadly, because I wish he wasn't, because I hate seeing him play because he's such an idiot. He got himself kicked out of the WSOP this year. I've never seen it. I've never seen somebody get kicked out. Like, I've seen people, or I've heard of people getting asked, like, basically disqualified from a specific tournament or something for whatever, an action or whatever.
Something happens, yeah.
But he got banned from the rest of the WSOP events.
Whole thing. No
this
more
year.
tournaments.
And he just cashed 33rd in the main event. So they waited till he cashed. They came over and told him he's banned. And then escorted him. Security escorted him over to the cage to get paid and escorted him out. I think it's hilarious. You know what? He's fucking mouthy. He's just stupid. He's mouthing off the tournament directors. And, he's insulting players at the table. He's taking too long to make silly, stupid, fucking normal decisions. So people are calling clock on him all the time. He's just awful. I'm going to read a little bit of this article, and then I'm going to play the video of his little outburst after the fact when he finds out that he's been banned. So UK pro Will Kassouf was escorted off the premises as soon as he was eliminated from the main event and banned for the rest of the 2025 World Series of Poker. The unprecedented scenes happened after a tumultuous day, which started with Kassouf getting a one-round penalty, and it proceeded to go downhill very fast after that. Kassouf cashed for $300,000 after being eliminated in 33rd place and was escorted to the payout desk first, but perhaps unsurprisingly, he didn't go quietly. He put his case forward in a lengthy post-bust interview and continued talking as he made his way to the Paris casino, trailed by security personnel, curious onlookers, and 2 Las Vegas Metro officers. So, here, I'm going to play this video here and kind of react to it.
Any tournaments the rest of this year.
Why?
It's the decision to made that time. So security will handle it from here.
Hang on a minute, I can't play any WSOP events just this year until July 15th?
We're done until...
But why? What have I done then? Be reasonable now. Yeah. Speak to me, man to man. What have I done?
You've been very disruptive.
Yeah. That's the tournament. What's that got to do with the other events? WSOP? This is the main event.
There's no more events for you this year.
Yeah, why?
Because we've made the decision not to allow you to pay.
Who? You or Jack?
Jack has made the decision. I've agreed with the decision.
Right. Can you call Jack Apple, please? I want to speak to Jack.
We're not involving Jack.
I want to speak to Jack.
I want to speak
I'm
to
asking
Jack.
nicely. Can I speak to Jack?
You have his contact. You're more.
No, he's not going to respond to me. Can you call Jack Apple?
Security's ready to take you to get.
Well, I'm going to do an interview with Sarah, if you don't mind. But
after you get paid, security's going to escort you off the property.
Right.
You can meet up.
That's embarrassing.
So I can't come here in the event center. So I could be in the horseshoe in Paris, but not in the event center. That's what you're saying.
No. We've turned this over to security.
So why? What have I done wrong?
Yeah, we're gonna walk out this way
Okay.
and get you paid.
So what's the situation?
We're security.
This guy cannot stop.
I want someone to grab.
Okay, we're gonna
I
walk
know.
in, we'll get
Just
you
put him in
paid,
a-
okay?
That's fine. But
So
then
let's walk.
after that, what happens then?
So,
I was hoping.
Let's walk.
Well,
Okay,
he
please.
said I can't play any WSOP events. That's fine. But I'd still like be in the horseshoe, right?
No.
Like on my project. I mean, I'm
Let's
told I
walk
can't
and
play
talk.
tournament.
We need to walk out.
But what have I done wrong?
Sir?
But what have I
So
done?
I'm getting
What have I
sanctioned
done?
after I
Sir.
just busted the main event in horrific circumstances.
Sir?
The tournament's over. I'm saying I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm not trying to.
Listen, we have nothing to do with this, okay? Our job is to walk you up to getting paid. And that's what we want to do.
I'm not in a rush to get paid. I'm here to do an interview with Sarah.
That's crazy.
At least I've got security. At least when I cash out, I got 300k. I got security to back it. That's fine.
And now he goes off talking about our taxes and all this.
All right, God bless America.
Oh, U.S. taxes, not Canadian.
I can sue the WSOP. I can threaten that they won't be the Trump direct next year. Jack Apple, all the joining Dennis, they may not even be.
Now he's threatening them.
It's an absolute disgrace how they handle the situation. Absolute disgrace. And I'll be surprised if they're the Trump director here next year. In fact, if they are, I might boycott it myself. And I think thousands of other players may boycott it as well.
Do the game a favor.
Thousands of others will boycott it, sure.
Jack Apple threatening to escort me off the premises if I say my case. And Dennis is saying, if I argue with him, he's going to give me a penalty. This is their answer, and they walk away. They can't handle the truth, they walk away. Jack Apple was pissed off that much, they started walking away. If you follow me, I'll get you.
He's too stupid. He's too stupid to realize that he's the problem, right? Like everybody else is the problem. Just the way this guy carries on is just look him up, look up the comments. People just fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
Something fierce.
Joe likes him. Joe thinks he should stay.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, you know what? It can be. Sure. Some of it can be part of the game. The problem with this guy though is he talks shit.
I think
he insults
he's
people.
being insulting.
And he insults people and stuff. And then he takes so long, so they're constantly calling clock on him. They just don't want him there. Like he's just bad for the
sports. Like so, poker doesn't really have a way to referee quite the same way that other sports do, just because it's a card game. But almost every sport has a written penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Right.
So like there are actions that you can take that don't necessarily violate the rules so much, but it violates the spirit of the game and is unsportsmanlike. So
yeah, insult. You can't insult another player. It goes to any of it.
Not only is it rude, but yeah,
you just can't. And I mean, if your insult is, there's insults that are like very mild and they'll let go, but you can't.
And also, certain players have personal relationships with other players, so it's
Sure.
a little different. It's like someone versus someone at a table. And I think there is something to be said about a pro, someone who's made his living doing this stuff, sitting down at a table. And he's sitting next to an amateur who's like making the run of his life right now.
Yeah.
And he just gets to sit there and berate this guy. I don't think that's right.
If you've ever, you don't gamble, Joe, but if you've ever sat down at a poker table, a live poker table in a casino, and there's somebody that's belligerent at the table, it's honestly horrible. You're sitting all that you can do is hope that you can bust them. And then usually the funny thing about it is, somebody like that's either drunk or something. They just keep buying in, which is nice. I mean, because they're going to keep giving you money. We just call them a fish. But it's still awful. It's still awful for the table environment. It's awful for the casino. And what you have to realize is this is technically a private event. Like this isn't a public event where it's like, oh, just anybody can come and they have to say yes. It's at a casino. They can trespass you and say they don't want you there anymore. And clearly this guy pissed people off. He pisses everybody off. And they're like, we don't want you around for any of the other events this year. And I kind of agree with them. I mean, I wouldn't either. If I were running it, I'd be like,
there's a clear line of like, this is the conduct, because you do got to be careful with that, especially with casinos, giving them more of a leeway into being like, oh, I like this guy, I don't like this guy. If they get a little too much power that way, they're just going to start kicking people who win out.
Yeah. Well, they do that.
If you're a winning blackjack player or whatever, they limit
Talk
your
to Dana
bet
White.
sizing. He's banned from a lot.
He's been banned from a lot of them. He's too good. I like what but he's a walking contradiction. But Kassouf, honestly, you know what? I think the consensus for the most part would be that people dislike this guy. He's just abrasive. He's just a goof, and you could handle all that. You could handle him being kind of abrasive at the table and stuff if he didn't couple everything with it. Like his whole shtick is to piss people off, so he makes them do things that they normally wouldn't do. Like he wants to get people tilting on him. That's his little shtick.
Yeah, there are a couple players that play like that, and it is somewhat valid to call that a strategy. But how are you going about it?
It likens to me. We were talking about like sports. It likens to me like something like the trap was back in the day, the neutral zone trap in the NHL. Sure, it's a strategy, and it's not you're not going against the rules and stuff, but man, did it make the fucking game so boring to watch. So the NHL as a league, I would think that it's almost incumbent on them if they want the league to survive. Imagine if everyone were doing it and suddenly like the action in the game just dropped down to nothing and they started losing viewership and all that kind of stuff, then it would be incumbent on them as an organization and a business to say, we don't want that. We're not going to allow that. So kind of the same thing
about hockey, though, is it's so dynamic that eventually they figure it
out. Yeah.
And then there'll be a new thing, and then they'll figure it out. The game will just change.
Yeah.
But
anyways, with Kassouf, I'm happy about it. Even if, honestly, I just dislike the guy. So even if it were kind of the wrong decision, I'm still happy about
Phil
it.
Hellmuth is less known for talking shit and more just outbursts.
Yeah, exactly.
When he busts, he gets angry. He'll start yelling or whatever. He's very seldom you see him actually insulting the other player. Sometimes you see him, or he says, "Oh, that's a horrible call. Why are you calling?" Or
he'll insult their play.
Such a horrible player or something like that. But yeah.
I mean, most of the time he doesn't even say that. Like, you're a horrible player. He'll say that's
like the rare clip you see him say.
That's horrible.
Normally he's just
he knows how to skirt those lines, right? So, but this Kassouf guy doesn't do that, right? And he's among a couple guys that do that. There's another European guy. I can't remember his name.
I know someone with a K.
Yeah, I can't remember him, but does the same type thing. Speaking of hockey, when will Canada bring back a cup again?
Bettman won't allow it.
Never. Yeah. All right.
When Canada gets a team in Florida, because apparently that's where the fucking cups are going now.
We just need a cusp team. We need a border team.
It's kind of Toronto.
No, I mean like right on the border.
It's like pretty close.
It is pretty close. Buffalo's closer though.
Yeah, Buffalo would be.
Yeah.
Would it be? Yeah,
Buffalo's like right there. You cross the border in Niagara Falls, you're in Buffalo. You have to drive 2 hours to get to Toronto from the border. Depending on which border you cross, I guess.
And traffic.
Yeah, and traffic. All right. Let's go to the next thing here. This one's we'll probably go a little long on this one. Well, Trump's whole agenda has its first big chink in the armor, I think. Chingy chong. In the armor. This whole Epstein thing, man. This Epstein thing is a mess.
It is weird.
He's trying to dismiss it. They're trying to just sweep this thing under the rug. But the problem is Pam Bondi said that there were files on her desk. They've been saying for years there's all this footage. They've got to go through all this footage. They got to go through all the tapes, the tape footage from the prison. They've got all this stuff to go through. And now they're saying, no, nothing this year.
She said specifically that they had a lot of child material that they're not going to release, obviously, but we got to comb through it or whatever. So there are people in those tapes who aren't children,
Joe thinks he's on the list.
I don't think that.
I don't know. Elon did say that, so I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. We were discussing this earlier.
Yeah, I think if he was on the list, it would be out. They've grasped at everything. I think if they had even an inkling of a legitimate claim to that, he would have been charged for it, along with the other bullshit charges that they gave him.
But if there are some other people on that list too, that they're like, hey,
that would be even better for them though, to point out this one guy. We're gonna focus the attention on Trump.
I don't know,
and then no one's gonna talk about the Clintons.
My feeling is, my personal feeling is he's not on the list because I don't know. I don't get those vibes from him. From everything I've ever seen of Trump, I don't get the pedo vibes. I get the slightly creepy vibes, maybe touching women inappropriate sometimes, maybe, allegedly. He said it himself. You can grab him by the pee. But
that's also a product of what does your life become when you're a billionaire?
Sure. And I'm not even saying that he's necessarily doing that, but I understand what he's saying.
It happens,
he's saying,
right?
I can do that.
Your behavior. But he will do that because he can do that.
Yeah.
But he can actually do that. It's not
But there's a complete staunch difference between a child and an adult. So, whatever. So I don't think necessarily, but having said that, this is weird. You can't shake this idea that this is weird. And now, with this whole thing, Dan Bongino talking about leaving. Apparently, he didn't even show up for work.
He took Friday off, I think.
Yeah. So it says here that he stormed out of a meeting with Pam Bondi, and then he was considering quitting. It says that he didn't appear for work on Friday and reportedly considering his future. It was unclear whether the former right-wing podcaster was at his desk in the Bureau's Washington, D.C. headquarters on Monday. So, and now with him saying that, Kash Patel is saying that if Bongino leaves, he's going to leave. It's kind of like it's starting to unravel a little bit. Like I don't know if necessarily this MAGA mandate this time around is unraveling, but some of the key pieces that are in there in positions that we were hoping were going to, give us some information that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons that I think it's probably that the reality of the situation is too much to release to the public, whether it's a threat to national security or a threat to, but maybe what they were doing has provided so much value to either the United States directly or their allies, maybe the United States and their allies, that they can't really disclose this because it would reveal too much about what they have and what they know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to it where when you release it, it's going to cause everything to collapse. And so they can't do that.
It does seem like
this twist,
yeah.
It's like, oh, Trump didn't know this stuff before. So he's like, yeah, we're going to release it. And that's when everybody thinks it's just a pedophile ring.
Yeah.
It's just, powerful people getting away with it because they're wealthy with money and power. But really, it's just about they're going and they're abusing kids or whatever. But then,
yeah, I agree
Trump
with you.
looks into it. His team looks into it, and now he's like, okay, maybe we actually can't release this. And that's why he's so just flippant about it, because maybe he thinks in his mind that if he's flippant about it, his base will get flippant about it, and then it'll go away, and that's really all they want at this point because they've already done too much. They're like, it's like you start opening that box, and then something bites you. You're like, let me try to close the lid on this.
I think from the reactions of Bongino and Kash Patel, I think that they were kind of railroaded a little bit. I think that they thought this was going to happen, and then when all the information came to light as far as them, to their eyes and to others' eyes, somebody made a decision to say, no, we're not putting this out. And so I think Bongino realizes that he made some promises, I'm sure a ton. I don't watch his show as much.
It'd probably be a serious crime for him to say what he knows.
Right.
Now, right. So now he's in a spot.
But I'm saying even on his podcast, he was talking all kinds of stuff before he was going to be as part of the FBI. So now he feels like, oh shit, I made all these promises to basically my viewer base.
But I think that's a problem for him, right? Because he now goes into this like, okay, I'm going to do this job. And then he gets railroaded, and he gets the information and that's why he's willing to go on TV. They don't have to threaten him or anything. The information is real. There's a real reason to not go through with this. So he goes on TV with Kash and no, he killed himself.
Right.
No, he did that. But being railroaded so hard, and now it's like, now you couldn't just go back to a show and tell everybody what he knows, because that would be a serious crime.
Right.
It'd be, I don't know what that would count as. Would that be?
I don't know. I mean, who knows if there weren't threats also, some significant threats on some of these people. So it's one of these things where a lot of his audience his credibility is going to be hurt a little bit, because a lot of his audience are going to be unreasonable to the idea that he didn't have the power to do something. They might look at it and say, okay,
Unless
he
figures out the right thing to say.
Yeah. I hope he does. I mean, I think he's legit. I've always liked Dan Bongino. I think he shoots from the hip. I think he's quite legit in what he says. So that's why I feel like he got railroaded.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
that's an interesting comment that Joe says. Don't trust the admin anymore. I think everyone that matters is compromised in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole point of the whole Epstein thing in the first place.
Yeah.
To compromise everybody that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And who knows? They might have compromised Trump even without,
It doesn't have to be
like it doesn't have to be anything that's really serious.
There
It
could be
just
things in there about
it could be implications,
like, I don't know,
things that are implied.
turning the other cheek, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they threw something at Trump where it's like, oh, here's some videos of some horrible things happening at your hotel.
Yeah.
We did this at your hotel. You let that happen at your hotel.
Right.
And we're going to tell everybody that you knew about this because you do now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't, like he's not going to have a defense. It's my word versus your word kind of thing, right? And so obviously the people that trust him are going to go with it. The people that don't trust him are going to run with it. And he already knows the establishment is against him, so they're a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
So
Well, you just think about the kind of power that people that are trying to do these things could have, because it's the idea that if you are unaware that there is a gang up happening behind your back against you, you have zero way to prepare for it. You don't even know it's coming. You don't even know that there's any, ill intent from these people that are doing it. And then they've planned out some kind of trap for you in some way. And then you find out after the fact, holy shit, we did X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We have all these things on you that we've been collecting now for the last 3 years on you, and you had no idea. And what are you going to do about it now? Okay, cool. If you do anything that we don't like, we're just going to release it. We're just going to release these things, back to back to back. And maybe some of what they did release, different things, was some of that. Maybe they were like, okay, well, we're going to release these different things. We're sitting on this little thing. We're sitting on this little, SA allegation from some twit in New York in whatever it was, a Macy's roof. I don't know whatever he was alleged to have done in a change room in whatever department store. I'm gonna stay vague so I don't get hammered on YouTube here. But yeah. So maybe they had all these different things and they're like, hey, let's just start releasing some of this stuff. Some of it didn't stick, but then they were like, hey, look, you remember how that was irritating? We got all this other stuff. So I don't know. It does seem like they were going full board and then brakes. Just slam the brakes. Nope, nothing to see here.
Yeah. Well, Joe says you could just come out with the truth and stop letting them blackmail you. You can't. I mean, you can. How? They're not going to blackmail you anymore. They might kill you, but no one's going to believe you.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of truths out there that are filed under wacky conspiracy theories.
And so you see that a lot where people will do that when they know they're getting to like end of life, or they're, they feel like they have less to lose, things like that. They'll say things, right? Right. I don't know if Trump's that guy. I don't think he is, to be honest. I think he's way too egotistical. He's concerned about his legacy. So I don't think he would do that, but you never know. Somebody might say, hey, this, that, and the other, which would be cool. I could see someone like Bongino, doing that. Like he's got that kind of, to me, that integrity that would make him say, I'm going to have to release this at, whatever, at my detriment. Whatever happens, I guess. But
that's assuming it's actually something that should be released.
Yeah, or something.
I think there's a very real possibility of something that shouldn't be released, and the overwhelming majority of people with that information would agree, okay, this shouldn't be released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your last comment there about the world burning. Well, we were talking about that. I mean, I just feel like something like this could be it could be really bad to push that end, essentially, just because if people had an idea that this administration was really going to go after this deep state, that's probably one of the words that gets this shadow banned. But going after this dark administration type thing that's constantly there, and then if they realize, well, they can't. Even the good guys we thought are unwilling to or unable to, that could be some kind of end of it, essentially. Some kind of catalyst to start the end of whatever you want to call this. The dominoes start to fall. In other words, you're saying this above all is one thing that we a society can't allow, no matter how powerful the person, when we let PDF files off. That's insane. You have to protect kids. I agree completely. When a society stops protecting the most vulnerable, it's done. That's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to protect the most vulnerable. You're not supposed to let mentally insane people run around on the street saying, doing, hurting people, like saying whatever they want, doing whatever they want, hurting people. You're not supposed to allow
a whole
that.
Political party saying that we should be doing that, though.
It's just insane. It seems contrived to me, but I don't know. I still hold on to a shred of optimism for humanity, I guess, that I think that they're not doing it on purpose, that this isn't purposeful. It's just kind of an accident, an unfortunate accident. So I don't know what to say about it, though. Oy. Dark days, man. All right.
Interesting times for sure.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, actually, I realized I didn't show I wanted to show this, but I didn't. Too bad. Close. This. Yeah. All right. Whatever. Let's get into the last thing, then we'll just kind of ramble on and get off because we're at 42 minutes anyway. So here we go. So this is kind of alarming and disturbing. A 33-year-old woman was intentionally set on fire in BC. That's Canada, by the way, if you don't know it. British Columbia. Weird place. I'm going to read this. It's a very short article. It's global news. Disgusting. And then I'm going to talk about... I love this. Look at this. In the news up the top. Trump. Epstein files. A woman suffered severe burns and needed urgent medical treatment after she was intentionally set on fire. Langley, BC RCMP responded to reports of a woman in distress on Saturday at approximately 6:35 p.m. in the place in BC. Officers found a 33-year-old woman suffering from severe burns. This does not appear to be a random act. We believe the victim was deliberately exposed to an unknown substance resulting in serious burns consistent with an intentional act. Such a weird statement to say.
That's because they won't tell you what happened.
Exactly.
They'll beat around the bush as hard as they can.
That bush has... There's nothing left on that bush.
It's perfectly trimmed all the way around. It's perfectly trimmed.
That's a landing strip, man. We're urging anyone who may have information about this incident, blah, blah, blah. Motive for the attack or details about the victim have not yet been released at this time. Police are particularly interested in speaking with anyone who was in the area at the time or may have dash camera footage. So basically they're saying, we don't know shit. Which I don't know if they're ever...
They do know.
They probably
know who did it, and that's why they don't want to tell you who did it, and that's why they use weirdly vague language.
Yeah, but look, okay, we're gonna be very cryptic. Also, we're gonna try and beat around
a lot in the UK.
We're gonna try and beat around this bush as well. Have you noticed that in the last, say, decade, we see a lot more of these type of attacks over here in the developed world, in the Western world, we'll say.
Mostly in the UK, I feel like, is where the stories come from.
Well, they're happening a lot there, more than here.
Or at least that's where the stories come from. I don't know how suppressed some of this stuff is.
I mean, if one were to make some correlations and connections to different things, one might come up with the idea that perhaps when you have open borders and you allow a ton of new immigration into your countries, you get some weird things like this happening.
That's some Nazi talk.
I'm just saying, man, this is horseshit. This kind of stuff that happens, people are getting set on fire. I don't remember when I was growing up ever hearing about this.
Unless it was an accident.
Yeah, exactly. It have to be an accident.
Someone was doing something stupid in their garage,
or they're filling up their gas tank, and which happens, by the way, where when you're pumping gas, static electricity from your car can set it aflame. Things like that, right? But somebody's screwing around in their garage, or somebody storing some chemicals in their garage that react to each other. Ask Tyler about storing a chemical rag in the truck, and what happened there. Anyways, but this is alarming. This is stupid. This is scary that this shit's happening over here. Can you imagine somebody setting you on fire? I couldn't. And if it's random, that even makes it worse. If this was just some kind of weird random act, that is fucking creepy. That is all the way creepy. I forget what movie it was. I think it was actually I think it was Money Train. You ever seen Money Train?
No.
In Money Train there was if you know the plot of the movie, whatever, it's Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and they're cops down and they guard what's called the Money Train. It's basically the train that takes all the
transferring between the banks or the
I think it's actually the
Federal Reserve.
No, I think it's actually the fare, all the fares from the subway system and stuff. I think that's what it is, but I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I have to look it up. But either way, they call it the Money Train. It's just full. It's loaded with money. But that's their job, is to guard it. But their part of the movie is this fucking psychotic guy is going around. He's got like a gas like canister on his body, and he's got a little whatever, like a tube that he just sprays it onto people and he lights them on fire. He walks up to the ticket agent at the one point, and like through the glass he just sprays her with this gas and then lights the thing and then lights her on fire. It's like just fucking sinister, man, when you think about stuff like that. It's just because it's so random and without motive. So you have to just walk around going, shit, could something happen to me like that?
Could.
Where I didn't do shit. I didn't even look at the person. Suddenly, somebody's lighting me on fire.
That's why you stay inside.
Stay inside, folks. We live in dangerous times. Hail, Alex. Hail? Hail.
No, he did it.
Hail.
He did it.
I don't think people from the third world should be allowed to migrate to the first world. It should be incremental. Third world to second world, and second world to first. I agree. Sounds funny, but I agree. I think it's too much of a jump. You're skipping a step. You shouldn't have to skip. You shouldn't be able to skip a step. All right, let me switch back. Well, listen, we're at 48 minutes, and Dune's calling Tyler at this point. That's why he's so quiet.
It's calling.
He's just thinking about Dune. Joe, thanks for being with us. Whoever else has been with us and been quiet, probably Artie's there, not really talking. Again, thanks for being with us. And I don't know. I feel like Tim Pool right now, talking about when he was like thinking about canceling IRL, because I don't know what we're gonna do. We just got that. I literally just got an email the other day saying that they're restricting the channel, restricting access to
whatever it is.
Whatever. I should be looking at the camera. I guess I'm looking down. So I don't know. I mean, we're kind of in a juxtaposition right now. We're probably going to apply for to do the Mysterious Universe podcast.
Wouldn't that be a fucking twist?
That would be a fucking twist. Look for us on Mysterious Universe. We're going to be there. If you're watching, if Benjamin Grundy or what's the other one?
Aaron Wright.
Aaron Wright and Benjamin Grundy, if you're watching our podcast, which they do, obviously to catch it. Yeah, we'll do you a favor. We'll take care of your podcast for you. Yeah, we're considering that, Joe. Starting a new one. But we're gonna have to do, before we do that, Tyler and I are gonna have to sit down and figure out how to not get ourselves in trouble. Because there's no point if we, I like to speak from my hip, and so does he, but there's no point if they just 86 the channel, right? Like, so, other than you being on it, then we might as well let's just get in a group chat and talk shit. I don't know. So, but if we're going to try and build a channel, then obviously we have to work within the confines of whatever restrictive language they keep us to, which
you should probably steer away from politics.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, maybe we'll just do that.
Keep it cultural.
Yeah, cultural and esoterical and stuff, and we'll just stay away from news and politics and and see. Yeah, we tried Rumble. I don't know. Rumble's also a little hard to get going on. But anyways.
But also, yeah, maybe with a fresh start and uploading to everything.
Yeah.
With more of a plan that's more consistent, because that might have been something that killed it from the beginning.
Yeah,
was kind of a lack of consistency. It's like this week we're talking about this, and next week we're talking about that, and then it's like people are, YouTube didn't know where to put it. anyone that saw it didn't, maybe they liked an episode and then the next episode they're like, the fuck is this?
Yeah. But right now, YouTube doesn't like it. So I made that very clear. Yeah. Give up on Rumble pretty quick. Well, actually, not really. We were on there for
a year.
We were on there for about a year.
Everything went on Rumble for more than a year, I think.
Yeah. And then we did give up on it quick.
The thing about Rumble is, too, if you get a little bit of something, that's monetized right away.
True.
Sure.
That's true. So we can make some money. Say whatever the fuck we want and make some money. That'd be great. Say go fuck yourself and then get paid. I'd be all right with that.
There might be an influx of people to Rumble soon because they're supposed to release their wallet this quarter, which is more than like on one hand you'll be able to choose to get paid in crypto or dollars, but it also is going to serve as an exchange
or CBDCs.
So you can buy, sell, and trade within the Rumble wallet, just like Coinbase or whatever.
Oh yeah,
so that might bring a whole new crowd of people
right
to the platform for that purpose, and then while they're there,
yeah,
it might drive more traffic to the site as is.
It's a good idea. If all the different things to keep them on the platform longer, right?
Yeah, so it's more things to do, more ways to, you can make money on Rumble by day trading crypto. You don't have to post videos. You can just go to your Rumble wallet and day trade crypto.
That's right.
Potentially. Well, it depends on how they execute it, but they're supposed to be releasing that this quarter, I think.
That would be pretty cool. So maybe look for us on Rumble too. Well, we'll let you know. There'll be a lead time. We'll let you know if there's a new channel. For now, look for us on Monday, 7:00 Eastern Standard Time for the live show. I will drop 2 videos this week. I'm going to drop 2 of the segments this week. I'm going to see what happens with it if they get crushed as far as views, and they're not going to be political. So we'll see how it happens. And and then we'll discern whether this channel is worth trying to hold on to. Maybe do a second channel, maybe do a clips channel.
It might almost be beneficial to literally delete it.
Yeah, might be.
Like, I mean, not right away, but like, if it doesn't exist, like that might be something, because you don't know what they're fucking doing with the algorithms these days and the AI. Like, in the same way that Facebook, even if you don't have a Facebook account, they probably have a profile for you.
Yeah.
Because you're connected, second, third, fourth order degree connected to people that they know things about you.
Yeah.
Is Google doing that with YouTube? Do they know who we are? And then, it doesn't matter what we do. Not even necessarily that it's the same IP address, but that, the same devices or whatever. That is going to spot that, and it just, whatever bias they have gets passed down no matter what you do.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
you don't know how far they go right now.
I know there's not a lot to delete. Obviously, the channel's, there's a lot of videos, but, 429 subs doesn't seem like much, but it just feels like it's like letting go of something if I delete it. So we'll have to see how that goes. Just find a friend that's really good at tech and have them push you in the algorithm.
How does that work?
You good at tech, Joe?
That's the other thing. Like, some people, like, I don't know how much I believe it, but you get like Mr. Beast. He says that he's adamant that he could start a channel and get 20 million views per video by 6 months. I don't know if I believe that, and he's obviously emphasizing without using his leverage. But
yeah, I know. Nobody was watching those things, man. It was like I had so many, like, not so many, but I had a number of people that loved those damn videos that were like, they're hilarious, and then other people weren't watching them apparently. I don't know. So I did enjoy doing them. That was funny, especially when I had a funny idea to do something that just was wacky, but whatever. We'll see. I still have all the videos, so I can I started its own page and then just didn't carry on because it just wasn't catching. So I guess the algorithm doesn't like that either. Whatever.
You could probably have fun with it. Do it on X.
Yeah, maybe.
Post the videos on X, but also make posts as the tools.
That would be funny. I posted a couple on TikTok, and they didn't do all that well on TikTok either. So I was like, all right, maybe they're just, I don't know, maybe it's just a little too wacky for people. They're like, fuck, this guy's an idiot. Anyways, all right, that's it. We're out of here. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for being with us. Look for the 2 videos I'm going to drop during the week. Probably, I'm going to say Wednesday, Friday. 5 o'clock Eastern, so you can check those out. Like, share, comment on them, anything to help the algorithm push the channel. It's the best way to help a channel if you like it. If you don't, well, fuck off then, because we don't care if you don't like it anyway. We do. I'm just saying that. I'm sorry. So yeah, look for us again Monday, 7 o'clock. We'll see you then. We'll obviously see you, Joe. Number 1. Joe's number 1.
Number 1. He's got to maintain that.
He's got to maintain number 1. All right. Thank you. See you next week.